All right, family, welcome back to another beautiful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live our best life through holistic health. My name is Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and of course, as usual, I have the beautiful, the amazing, the humble, the talented, the dream queen herself. What's your name, girl?
My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd.
Boom. It's official now.
I was going to say, it's official. It's my Instagram handle. It means it's locked in there.
Boom. Tag her. Look her up.
Yeah.
All right. Boom.
The Health Nerd with 3 E's.
3 E's.
That's what's available.
The Health Nerd. You gotta hold it.
Hold it.
I respect it. Well, welcome back again. Thank you for tuning in. This episode, we are talking about love. So, Valentine's Day is around the corner. So, we are going to talk about the 5 love languages by Dr. Chapman. It is a book. Feel free to go ahead and read it. Feel free to YouTube the summaries, the notes. You can take the free quiz on 5lovelanguages.com, all of that. But we want to make sure that we let you know the love languages are for more than just intimate relationships. You know, your friendships, your relationship with your boss, your parents, your siblings, if you have children, love language or love hopefully is universal with all people. So you want to make sure you can take these lessons from the 5 love languages and apply them to all types of relationships. So without further ado, let's get into the episode.
So, first I want to start off with why you'd even want to be talking about this really quick. And I think that we don't think about relationships as health, but we already know, like, we've included social health as a critical pillar of health for a reason. Because how you interact with others says a lot about, one, how you think about yourself and how you interact with yourself.
Talk about it.
But it affects how you live every single day. Like, that's your reality. So if you go to work and you don't like the people you work with, or you don't get along with the people you work with, or if you don't get along with your spouse, or you see them literally every day, you live with them, like, that can create a toxic relationship, which can lead to a whole bunch of unhealthy coping. And so it's really
unhealthy coping. Can you unpack that for a second? I know that was not on the list at all.
It's not.
But can you give examples of what unhealthy coping would look like?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I want to go to the extreme. Unfortunately, that's where my mind goes first. Is like, if you are in a toxic situation at home, a lot of people end up not going home. Maybe they go to a bar or something and they start drinking and then become an alcoholic, and that just creates a toxic environment. So, I mean, that's an extreme example. You can also eating.
Yes. I think is a thing that people a lot to do without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Stress eating.
Yeah.
Chips, soda, ice cream,
chocolate. But I feel like that's the typical, like, sitting in front of a TV with a tub of ice cream and everything.
I've been there.
We all have. It's okay.
So definitely make sure you keep these healthy relationships, not only for the relationship's sake, but for your personal sake as well.
Yeah. So, first love language is words of affirmation. So I'm covering this one just because that's actually my top. So that's what is my top love language, meaning that's what I receive and that's what I give the best in terms of love. And, after taking this quiz, I was thinking about, like, does that make sense? Because sometimes you take quizzes and you're like, that's not right.
I'm not Slytherin.
Yeah, hey.
What's up? That hit somewhere, huh?
Right here.
Yeah, she took the Harry Potter house quiz and she was Slytherin.
I'm not Slytherin. I don't feel like I'm
The internet says otherwise. Anyway, go ahead.
So, growing up, family was very loving. We all knew that we loved each other, but words of affirmation were not really a thing. Parents they always wanted the best for us, and they definitely wanted better lives for us than they had for themselves. So of course that led to being very hard, very critical. So that's kind of what I grew up around. And unfortunately, that leads itself into, like, being with an optimist. Sometimes it's like I gotta remember that, if I'm being critical, that downs his up, if that makes sense. But I think that's also why words of affirmation mean so much to me now as an adult.
Flip side.
Yeah, because I didn't necessarily get that as much as a child growing up. So that's what I feed on now. Is like, oh, whoa, like you know, when you're great at giving words of affirmation and giving compliments. Yes. So it's like when you say something nice, like it really hits me because I'm not used to getting things like that. I'm not used to having people say nice, really nice things to me all the time. So it hits home. It hits a place that feels really good.
Interesting. Okay. Can you give an example of words of affirmation in the workplace, possibly? Because I think words of affirmation in a relationship, in a friendship, seems pretty self-explanatory. Like, oh, I love you. Oh my gosh, your curls are popping today. Ooh, you've been working on your butt. All that kind of stuff. Words of affirmation that some people, I know you, will appreciate. But when you're in the workplace, what are some examples of like appropriate words of affirmation that either you give to your employees or that you would want from a supervisor?
Honestly, like some of the best words of affirmation I can remember getting are people who came up to me after speaking, even if it was just like in a meeting or in a little like small conference or something like that, and we're just like, you just have a way with words when you speak. Like I just listen and you just you're so eloquent and all that stuff, and it was something where I felt like I got off the podium or whatever, and I was like, it's cool. Yeah. So to hear somebody that I resonated so much with someone else, I don't know, really, really touched me. And it was something that I don't even know if I really deserved it, but it was good. It felt good. And then just knowing that you're appreciated, like just saying thank you, like means a lot. Cause I feel like, I work, everybody expects you to show up and do your work. But I feel like because that's the expectation, you always get the like, you know what, I really appreciate that you went above and beyond and did, such and such and such and such, and actually listing what you did as acknowledgement that, they noticed that you did those things. So that's really nice to hear every now and then.
I think it's important to note that, because especially for us, we're trying to build a business, we're trying to build a brand. So not only as a relationship partner, but as a business partner, I need to do a good job at saying, thank you for posting on the Truvel Forever Nuggets of the Day. Thank you for setting up the video IG for the live stuff, because that's still your love language, whether it's in a relationship or it's in our business stuff. And I think we need to keep that same thing in mind when we start hiring other people someday, is making sure that we give those words of affirmation, because we know that's your personal language. So that is the first one, words of affirmation. Use them wisely. Try to build your relationships, whether they're personal, work, friendships, family, friends, using words of affirmation if that is your language. And now let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next one was my top love language, and it is acts of service. So this is doing stuff like taking out the trash, this is cooking, this is helping me with the task, this is setting up the Instagram live, like things that really help me out, save me time, or things for me that kind of translate towards love. And I think the Queen did a really great job accidentally giving you words of affirmation.
I told you he's good at it.
But the Queen did a really good job at kind of rooting her love language in your childhood, and I want to try to do the same thing. So I feel like for myself growing up, I was left to do a lot of things on my own. My dad worked a full-time job, mom worked a full-time job, so it was like when I was doing stuff, I was at the house, I was cleaning the kitchen, sometimes I would cook. So I feel like acts of service to me mean a lot, because growing up, my parents did a lot, they provided for me, they did that good stuff, but I felt like growing up, I was doing some stuff for myself. Or during holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it was my job to clean the kitchen after the holidays.
Bless your heart.
Like, by myself.
Bless your heart.
And it's like, like all y'all ate the food, but I'm the only one cleaning. My grandma used to help out. Shout out to Gina Strickland and my grandma. But long story short, I feel like now that I'm older, those people doing acts of service for me means so much more. So like, I know it's my job personally to clean the kitchen in our relationship, because the Queen can throw down in the kitchen, but there are occasions where like I'm just exhausted, and she will, without asking or without me asking her, she'll just get up and clean the kitchen after she had already cooked. So when I'm sitting there tired, I'm just like, is she cleaning? Oh my God.
Got a tear.
She loves me. So it's like going the extra mile, going out of your way to do something that I know you don't like doing, that you usually don't have time to do, but you see that I'm tired, so you'll do it anyway for that day. So I appreciate that. In work, it can be the same way. Like, unfortunately, like outside of entrepreneurship, inside of what I do for a full-time living, I do a lot of work by myself. I'm going to a lot of events by myself. I'm setting up by myself. I'm talking to students by myself. So when coworkers are like, oh, hey, Devon, I'll come out on a Sunday and help you with that event, I'm like, oh, thank you. Or, hey, Devon, I'll work check-in for you, or I'll do this, and that for you. Even in the co-working space still means a lot because I'm so used to doing things by myself. Do you have anything you want to kind of sprinkle on that for acts of service, Quinn?
No, I actually thought when I was taking the quiz, I was thinking like, okay, I was pretty sure that words of affirmation was going to be number 1, but number 2, I was like, ooh, it's either going to be acts of service or quality time. And I feel like the reason that's also big for me, and probably why it's big for you, is just because we're very ambitious. So we have a lot of things we're trying to do all the time. So just helping you being able to do those things means a lot. Because I feel like it low-key, I mean, we already know that we believe in each other, but that's just an action that shows, like, I believe in you, I know you got stuff to do, I know you're tired or whatever, so let me take this on, let me make this sacrifice 100%. Real quick and do that. And that means so much that it's like, you know, I could easily be like, no, that's your job, you got it, bro. But, you know, I know that you have things that you want to do, just like I have things that I want to do. So every now and then, it's good to make that sacrifice, and it does mean a lot.
Right. I think it hits, like you hit on a really good point. The fact that we both have ambitions, we both have dreams. So if anybody is helping me achieve my dream, whether it's giving me time, giving me their talent, their skill, then I'm just like, that's an act of service. Thank you so much. And I try to do the same for other people. Like if I know other people have dreams and I can help them, I'm gonna help them because that's how I show my love through acts of service. So I think so far the quiz was pretty on. If you want to take the quiz, you can go to 5lovelanguages.com. Not a sponsor, it's free. You just put in your name, email, if you're married, all that stuff, and then it'll give you the results. So feel free to do it. But we're gonna head into the third love language now. All right, so number 3 of the love languages, and this was number 2 for me, is physical touch. So, you know, in an intimate relationship, this can be holding hands, this can be kissing, this can be a hug. Oh, thanks, Queen. This can be all, you know, everything physical touch all the way up to physical actual intimacy as well. I think a tricky thing is how physical touch plays out in the workplace. Because we're at a pretty sensitive time for sexual harassment. We're at a pretty interesting time in doing those things. So I know personally, since going to college, I've gotten into the habit of asking people, like, can I hug you?
That's good. A good
high
habit.
five? Like, what you want to do here?
Yeah.
And typically people look at me weird, but occasionally there's that one person that's like, oh no, I don't do hugs. Like whether it's religion or they just don't feel comfortable. So the 10 uncomfortable makes it okay for that one that's like, don't you dare hug me. But I think there are cool ways that you can do still appropriate physical touch in the workplace. You can give people high fives after doing a good job, a bump. If they do want hugs, you can give them a hug. So there's still ways that you can express that love language in the workplace. Something that I think me and you started doing, I think this was recently when we moved to this house, is every day when we come home, we give each other a nice little hug.
Yes.
I love that. I know you love it too?
I do love it.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and but I love the fact that we come back to our castle, we come back to our safe place, and we just hug, embrace for anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. We never know how long it's going to be, but I don't know, that's just comforting for me. So I like that. I can look forward to every day when I come home, I'm going to give me a little hug. Hey. Anything you want to sprinkle on physical touch as a love language, Queen?
A couple things. One, I had no idea where I heard or read this, but it was saying that hugs, like if everybody has one meaningful hug, like you will live a healthier life.
Yes.
Like there's actually something in you that is like the chemical reaction so that happens when you give someone a meaningful hug.
Is it serotonin and dopamine, I believe?
Those are the happy hormones, yeah. So those are released when you're in that state, and like I said, a meaningful hug, not one of those like
it was
no. So that's why it's like if you're not in the habit of hugging your loved ones, that's probably a good habit to start. Your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, your daughter, your cousin, your sister, brother, whoever it is. Your dog, like
you get a hug, the pet gets a hug, everybody
they're free,
gets
hand them out. But no, really, like it is, if you really take your time, like when we hug each other, like we're like breathe into it. It's weird, but I like smelling you. It's even your scent is calming.
Usually I smell okay.
Yes, you do. Usually
75% on a curve.
When you come back from the gym, sometimes it's a little
but you hug
not
me anyway.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Yes, I do. But I was gonna go back to the physical touch at work. And I think you brought up some very good points, some very safe points that I think are good to have for work. Like if that's something that you like to do to show appreciation for your coworkers or whatever, I think high five, a fist pump is good. I feel like if you do establish that hugging relationship, that's cool. But it's like I can't really say I hug anybody at work right now. So like if somebody was just like Sinclair, like I'd be like but I feel like you also need to be careful, of course. Like definitely in these times, but like a lot of times people don't realize that. It's not even that it's an inappropriate touch, but it's just like, I don't like that. Like I've had, some people like, they get up out of a meeting and they'll be like, all right, yeah, good meeting or something like that. And
just go
like,
slap you on your back like that?
Yeah, it's just like, cool, don't do that, I don't like that. But that was their like, pat, like, yeah, good job, like, and it's usually men.
Oh, we're such terrible creatures.
No, you're not. Some of you, not all of you, I don't like to generalize. But yeah, it's just like sometimes it's just like, I know you don't see that as inappropriate, and I won't say it's inappropriate, but I didn't like it. And it doesn't, it feels like a father-daughter type thing, and it's like, that's not our relationship, don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful with that one.
Always ask consent, whether it's a pat on the back, a hug, or the ultimate sexual activity. Make sure y'all are getting consent out here in these streets, in these office buildings, in these condos, in these clubs, bars. Consent.
Like, and people may look at you weird, but that's going to be way better than...
It's better than a case.
Exactly.
It's better than getting fired. Exactly. So that was physical touch. Again, you can use that appropriately in the workplace. You can use that in your relationship with your family members, like giving your siblings hugs. That's something... Sorry, we were going to the end of that section, but even within your own family, there are some people who might not like being touched, whether it's because they went through abuse, whether it's because they're on the spectrum, or maybe they just don't like being touched. Like my little sister, she doesn't really like hugs, and I've come to appreciate, like, all right, Sophia, can I give you a hug today? And she's like, no. I'm like, all right, cool, high five, bam. But some days she's like, come on, Devon, I give a hug, and it's like, oh, that means even that much more because I know she doesn't like them, but she'll sometimes, on a good day, give me a hug. So whether it's a family member or a coworker, you still want to have that kind of consent or that soft ass, just so you make sure everyone's comfortable.
Unless you're TC.
Unless you're her brother and you just do what you want.
He's okay with it.
All right, next section. Let's get on into it. So I'll start this next section off only because I'm wearing some proofs of the pudding. So this next love language is gifts. So if you are a person who loves your birthday and you get all types of crazy gifts, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all those great gift giving times, and that's like the best time to look forward to, this is probably your love language. For me personally, this was last on the list. I'm not really...
Second to last for me.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge gift person. I really love like intentional quality, like it can cost $5, but if it was a lot of thought into it, I like it. Other than that, it's like I can buy my own camera, I can buy my own phone, I can buy those own things because I have been blessed. Thank you for the resources, universe, and ancestors. But I am wearing a Team Alien hat right now. I know the podcast you can't see it, but hopefully you can feel the vibes and the smiles coming out. You know what I'm saying? But I got this Team Alien hat. I like to say that I am not from this planet. This was a custom made hat made by Romay, one of our Romay, how do you pronounce it? I don't know. Kayla, you know who you are. One of our friends from college, but the queen actually reached out to her and was like, hey, can you make this hat for the king? And it was like, boom. Another one that I'm wearing is this Engaged AF shirt. You get this for us, I assume, right after we got engaged on our trip to Jamaica. So again, like really, I mean, I don't know how much they cost, but I assume not crazy expensive gifts, but very thoughtful gifts. So I appreciate that. And then of course, I'm sitting in the director's chair, the Truvel chair as well. Again, on the podcast, you can't see it, but just know I'm excited about this chair because I'm gonna write movies, I'm gonna make movies, and I'm gonna sit in this chair when I do it. Bam. So, let me bring it back. So, within your personal relationship, gifts can definitely play a role and make you excited. During work, obviously, it can also make you excited, whether it's getting gift cards for a holiday celebration, whether it's getting a thank you note, birthday card, so you can still give or receive gifts at work. Queen, gifts for you as a receiving language or as a giving language. How's it look?
I'm very similar to you. I just like the thought. I want to know their thought put into it, because if you're just getting me something that's nice, same situation. I'm blessed enough to pretty much be able to get, or even if I can't get it now, like I can save up for it.
Because you a boss.
Yeah, you know. Anything that I would like. So, just getting something random off a list of things that I say that I want is not as meaningful as like, oh, I wrote you this poem, or I made you this song, or that's very meaningful.
I made her a whole mixtape.
Yeah. That's very meaningful, because it's like you sat down, you wrote those lyrics, you you found the music, you found the beats, you edited. Like that's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, that's a lot of thought put into that. So that means a lot to me. But I can think about people like Joy, our friend, my best friend Joy. I don't know what her top love language is gonna be, but I know that gifts is gonna be up there because
physical touch.
Probably that one.
100%.
Probably that one. But I know gifts is probably going to be her second, just because she loves giving gifts. She was just talking about the other day, she likes to find like nice boxes and decorate them, and deliver the gifts in these nice boxes. So and that gives her joy. That was not even intentional.
So funny.
It gives her joy to give those gifts, those nice boxes. So some people just love being able to give a handmade gift, or that really means something to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think gifts is one of the ones where you definitely want to take the time and know your partner, or know who you're getting a gift for. Because if you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna get you this $600 camera and you're gonna love it and this is gonna be a great night for Valentine's Day, she might be like, or he might be like, or they might be like, a camera? Really? You don't know me.
Right.
So you want to make sure you're getting intentional gifts. You communicate with them, see where their values are. Maybe the best gift for them will be an act of service: washing their car, putting gas in their car, cleaning their entire house, doing their laundry. Maybe those acts of service are actually a better gift than you giving them a gift card or giving them a backpack or something else that they can just go buy themselves. So when you think about birthdays, when you think about holidays, when you think about Valentine's Day, or if you just want to surprise somebody with a gift, you really want to make sure you know that person, and the gift that you're giving is going to be received as well as it's being given.
Agreed. And I think that sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, but I feel like I know, in the case of you, if I'm giving a gift to you, I know you, so like I know either way I'm probably going to be okay. But sometimes we let the element of surprise get in the way of like, let me actually just make sure this is something that this person wants. So I know sometimes, I'll get a gift and, it'll be like a generic gift. There's no such thing as a generic gift for everybody. So, generic gifts like, oh, here's chocolate. And it's like, sure, that's great. Most people would like this. But you give that to either of us,
it's like,
it's going to someone else.
Right, bruh, really?
Or the trash, because it's like, it's the thought was great, but this is not useful. I feel like sometimes, if it's something that I'm not on my list of things that I want, I just want it to be something that I can use. Otherwise, it's like, I only have the thought to hang on to, because it's like, it's not something that's useful for me.
Right.
So I think it's important to know the person.
100%. All right, we are rounding the corners. Thank you for sticking with us. We are moving on to the 5th and final love language. So,
the last love language is QT.
Hey.
Quality time.
Hey.
So,
I
this
thought you about to do a rap or a boy. QT.
Time.
Hey. Migos.
Hey. Okay.
Stop. Let me stop.
Quality time. So, this was my second top love language. And this is just, it's exactly what it sounds like. It means spending time, quality time, which means like, I don't want to say uninterrupted, but it just means intentional. To me, that's kind of what that means. Intentional time with that person. So personal, that means, we have Friday night date nights, and we try not to let anything get in the way of that because, like I said, we're very ambitious, we're very busy, so, throughout any given day, we're not just sitting around, watching TV.
Negative.
That's not our life. So we're always running around doing things. We haven't even had dinner yet. So it's...
Talk about it. Talk about it, Queen. Come on now.
Sam is calling my name.
Love language, food should be on that bad boy. That's all I'm saying.
Gift of food.
Yeah, come on, Dr. Chapman. You don't eat, brother? Goodness gracious.
But yeah, I feel like for us, like setting that intentional time on like Friday nights is date night, and we try not to let anything get in the way of that, means a lot because it's time, because it means important. One, it's us showing that this is important. We're investing in ourselves. We're investing time is money. We're investing
into our relationship, our marriage. Yes,
for the future. And I think that's very important for not just a partner, for anybody. Unfortunately, if you're with friends, so if you don't live with, if you don't live around your friend, then definitely make sure you spend that quality time. I mean, virtually is next best, but at least make sure you're spending time on the phone or on via FaceChat. Well, I almost said FaceChat.
FaceChat. Yeah, that company that hasn't existed. FaceTime,
or whatever it is, but set aside that time for the people that you care about, because quality time means a lot.
Right.
And thinking about work, this is also applied to work. Lunch, everybody's got to eat lunch. So every now and then, if you want to, get to know someone, get to build a relationship with your coworkers, be like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow for lunch? Let's go to lunch. Or hey, what are you doing after work? Like, a lot of the coworkers, I don't live in Oxnard, so I don't go out as much anymore, but it's like, they'll be like, oh, we're going out for this bar or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's nice to just know that you're being thought of, and that they're like, oh, let's go spend this intentional time outside of work to get to know each other, to get to know each other. So,
and another example of that within work that may not be perceived as quality time, but when you get those one-on-ones with your supervisor,
yes,
that's quality time.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you can really sit down, maybe they can, in that quality time, give you those words of affirmation. Maybe during those quality times, you can tell them what you need from them as acts of service. But if you never have a one-on-one with your supervisor or have a team meeting where everyone's just sitting down, checking in, seeing how projects are going, then you can never really handle the rest of the love languages.
Right.
So I think even within work, if you're a supervisor, if you're an employee, try to figure out ways that you can get that nice quality one-on-one time. Although it may be critical, it's still quality one-on-one time with your supervisor or with the people that you supervise. For me, I think I've had to get better at the quality time within the relationship, and I think the Friday night date nights is semi-new. Like we did it a little bit in PH, but then now we moved out here, we're trying to do a little bit more because I'm so ambitious, and quality time for me was the second to lowest. Sorry, Queen. It only got 2 points. So it's like for me, quality time for me is doing a podcast. We're traveling to Jamaica and recording vlogs. We're doing stuff towards our dream. So to now on Fridays really put down the phone, put down the Instagram, put down the writing, put down the board games, and go out and just watch a movie, go out and just rollerblade, go out and just find a new restaurant. Like, one, to be honest, it takes a lot from me. But two, it is enjoyable. But I'm glad that we've been able to kind of get that going into our habits, because again, like you said, long term, if we're building a dream, we also have to build a relationship. So wow, thanks for watching, we appreciate that. But what you really should do is click that subscribe button, smash that like button. You like us, right? You like her, right? Hey, we're cool. Subscribe. Appreciate you.